Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We got the final game of this two-game series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and Washington Nationals. Leading off for the visiting Pirates, playing center field, Vance Like. Batting second, playing second, Harrison. Batting third, playing left field, Parker. Batting fourth, playing right field, Clemente. Batting fifth, playing first base, Stargell. Batting sixth, playing third base, Ramirez. Batting seventh on the catching's Pena. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Alley. Batting ninth, another Bob, this time friend. And on the pitching. Let's take a look at the hometown Washington Nationals. Starting lineup. And we got leading off playing left field, Lou. Batting second, playing shortstop, Turner. Batting third, playing second base, Murphy. Batting fourth, playing center field, Harper. Batting fifth, playing third base, Rendell. Batting sixth, doing the catching, Carter. Batting seventh, playing right field, Soto. Batting eighth, playing first base, Segui. And on the mound, on the pitching, is Steve Rogers, batting ninth. Let's get down here to the stadium and get this game started, folks. Andy Vance Lake will lead it off here for the Pirates, looking for his first base hit of the year. Going up against Steve Rogers in 1982. He's 19-8 with a 2.4 ERA. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be against a righty, 16. And that's going to be a base hit, an infield hit for Vance Lake. And the Pirates are off with a lead-off single. And that'll bring up Harrison. And he's batting 250 on the year, no homers and no RBIs. Here's the pitch to Josh. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Soto for out number one. And that brings up Dave Parker, the Cobra. And he's off to a good start, batting 250 with a homer and RBI on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out Dave for out number two. And that brings up Clemente now. And Roberto Clemente is batting 500 on the year, folks, with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Turner. He fires over to first. The Pirates 3-1. We go to the bottom of the first. Pirates nothing. The Nationals coming to bat. You got a Lou, Murphy, and Harper due up here. A Lou in 1994 batted 339, 22 homers, and 78 RBIs. And Bob Friend in 1963 was 17-6 with a 2.34 ERA. And here's the pitch to Lou. And that's going to be a grounder down the alley at short over to Willie for out number one. And Trey Turner comes up. And in 2019, he batted 298, 19 homers, 57 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Bob's first strikeout of the game. See the team comparisons. Pittsburgh's 1-0, batting 257 with a 270 on base percentage, slugging 553 with an 813 OPS. And Washington's 0-1, batting a $148 with a 307 on base percentage, slugging 328 and a 635 OPS. And Daniel Murphy's up now. And in 2016, he batted 347, 25 homers, 104 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit. Let's see where this lands at, folks. And that's going to be a double into the gap in right field. So 1 out double. And Turner down, Murphy down at second. And Bryce Harper comes to the plate. And Harper is batting 200 on the year No homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Van Slyke comes in, makes the catch for out number 2. Murphy, out number 3 rather. We go to the top of the second. We got Stargell, Ramirez, and Pena due up here. Willie's off to a nice start, batting .333, no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a double in the right field. And Willie starts off the inning with a base hit. Gets in scoring position for Ramirez. See if the Pirates can cash in here. Ramirez is batting .250, no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. 23 and a 7. That'll be fielding column 1. Yes. Now it'll get the runner down the third. So now you got a runner down at third and 1 out. They're going to play back. They'll give up that run for an out. Antonio Pena's up. He's batting .500 on the year. No homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a 38. And a pass ball. And nope, that's not going to be a pass ball. So that's going to be a 44 and a 38 with a runner on second. 44 and a 38. That's going to be hit out to center field. Harper's out there. And that's going to be a nice catch by Harper. And with Willie's speed, he's going to have to hold at third. So, wait a second here. Let's redo all this. He was down at third, not second. So let's look at this again. Sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong chart. Runner down at third. And that was a 38 runner down at third. Still going to be a rare play. And it still was. Let's see here. Sorry about that. That was a so 44 on a 38. 44 on a 38 is a 16. I was going to be hit down the third. And that's going to be a ground ball. Rendon's going to look the runner back to third and fire over to first. So that's going to be a 5-3 put out, and a runner holds. So we still got a runner down at third and 2 outs. At least we got it right. And we didn't hold the runner at third. What happened here? Messing this all up. So it's a ground ball down the third. And now Alley's up. 2 down and a runner 90 feet away. Can he drive him in? Gene's batting .250 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. Might be smart by Steve. See if Bob Friend can help his own calls out there. First and third and 2 outs. Friend batted a .105, no homers and 2 RBIs in 1963. Can he help his own calls out? Close. And that's going to be a 36. And that's going to be a wild pitch. And that's going to score the runner. And Alley's going to get down to second. So Roger uncorks one, and that gives the Pirates a 1-0 lead. Now on the 1-0 count, you got a runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch to Bob, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. He comes back to strike Friend out, but the wild pitch cost the Nationals a run. Pirates take a 1-0 lead going into the second inning. You got Rendon, Carter, and Soto due up here. And Rendon in 2019 batted .319, 34 homers, and 126 RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down to his counterpart at third, Ramirez, over to Willie. That'll be out number 1. And Gary Carter comes to the plate. And in 1984, he batted .294, 27 homers, 106 RBI. And that's going to be against the righty. 19. And that'll be a fly ball out the right field. Clemente makes the catch for out number 2. And Soto comes to the plate. He batted .313, 29 homers, and 95 RBIs in 2021. And that's going to be a base on balls. Friend's first walk of the game. And David Segui comes to the plate. And David batted .307, 21 homers, 68 RBIs, 1997. Here's the pitch to David. And that's going to be a 17. And that's going to be a nice play down at short by Alley. He throws over to first. Now to win the inning. The Nationals strand 1. We go to the top of the 3rd, and the top of the order due up. Van Slyke, Harrison, and Parker. Van Slyke singled back in the 1st. And that's going to be a ground ball down to David at first. He takes it himself for out number 1. And Harrison comes to the plate. He flew out the right back in the 1st. And that's going to be a ground ball again down the 1st. And again, Segui takes it himself. He might want to pick on somebody else. As Replay Dugout joins us here, check out his great channel, folks. And now we got Dave Parker up. Parker struck out back in the 1st. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. Parker goes down on strikes again. That's a 1-2-3 third. Go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still 1-0 Pirates. You got Rogers due up, then back to the top of the order, and Lou and Turner. And Rogers. And 1982, batted .129 with 4 RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Gene's up with it. He fires over to Stargell for out number 1. Yeah, playing the master game. Yep. Oh, you're welcome. Not a problem, Tom. You're welcome. Great channel that he's got. Check it out, folks. You got the Pirates schedule. They excuse me, leave the nation's capital to go to New York and take on the Mets for 4 games, and then they go home to take on the Braves. Lou, he grounded out the short back in the 1st. That's going to be another ground ball down to Gene, and another out. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. And Turner comes to the plate now. And Trey struck out back in the 1st. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Van Slyke. 1, 2, 3 goes to Nats. Oh, you'll love it, Tom. It's a great game, man. Great game. I enjoy it. I truly enjoy it. My buddy Corey Carter is starting to play it now, too. So, yeah, I think you'll enjoy the heck out of it. All righty, we go to the top of the 4th. We got Clemente, Stargell, and Ramirez, the big boys, due up here for the Pirates. Roberto grounded out the shortest first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Murphy at 2nd. That'll be out number 1. And Willie comes to the plate. Stargell doubled and came around to score the only run of the game back in the 2nd. And that's going to be a base on balls. They don't want no parts of Willie. He trots on down the 1st. That brings up Ramirez. And Ramirez grounded out the 2nd his first time up. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. Can he do something with this 2-0 pitch? Nope, that's just going to be a lazy fly out to the Lou and left. Now there's 2 down. And it's up to Tony Pena to do something with Willie down at first. And Tony grounded out the third back in the second. And that's going to be a 18. That's going to be a ground ball down to Murphy. He fires over to first to David, and that'll end the inning. The Pirates strand one. To the bottom of the fourth we go. You got Murphy, Harper, and Rendon due up here for the Nationals. Murphy doubled back in the first. And that's going to be 16. That's going to be an infield hit for Murphy. He's aboard here with the leadoff single. And that brings up Bryce Harper up now. The runner on at first and nobody out. And Harper flew out to center, but Andy Van Slyke back in the first. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on Harper. Don't want to fall behind on Bryce. And he gets away with it. That's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And they're going to get the lead runner. He's going to spin around, fire down the Gene at second. Now you got Harper down at first with 1 out and Rendon up. And Anthony's 0 for 1. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. 43 and a 3. See if this makes it through. Might be a double play ball. And that's going to be the old 3-6-3 double play. Nice play by Stargell. Starts the double play, and the Pirates get out of that with no damage done. To the top of the 5th we go. Pirates 1, Nationals nothing. You got the bottom part of the order due up here. Alley, Friend, and then back to the top end, Van Slyke. Gene walked back in the second. And that's going to be a 19. That's going to be a base hit in the center field. Gene gets aboard here with a leadoff single. Harper can't quite get to it. Bob Friend's going to get the bunt sign here. Try to get Alley down to second. Friend struck out back in the second. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. He's trying to lay down a bunt, and Roger can't get it over the plate. Here's a 2-0 pitch. And that's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. He fouls off the next 2 pitches. So 2-2 count. And the bunt sign's still on. And that's going to be a capper right in front of the mound on plate. Carter comes up. Only play is going to be down the first with David covering. The runner will get in scoring position. So Friend gets the sacrifice bunt down. Now you got Alley down at second for Andy Van Slyke. Andy's 1 for 2, single back in the first. And that's going to be a infield pop up. Let's see, a 33 and it's going to be popped up to Turner. He makes the catch for out number 2. And Harrison comes to the plate now. And he's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. Not this time, folks. He gets a hold of this one. This should score Gene easily. And that's going to be a double in the left field. And double your fun, double your pleasure, double your lead with double mint gum. It's now 2-0 Pittsburgh. And now the big boys coming up with a runner in scoring position. You got Dave Parker. He has struck out both times against Rogers. Can Rogers give him the hat trick and get out of this with only 1 run scoring? And he does. Dave Parker goes down for the 3rd time on strikes, folks. But the Pirates score 1, take a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the 5th. You got Carter, Soto, and Segui up here against Bob in the 5th inning. Gary's 0 for 1. He flew out the right back in the second. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Ramirez. He fires over to first for out number 1. And Juan Soto grabs the bat and comes to the plate. He walked back in the second. And that's going to be a fly ball to Clemente. 2 quick outs here in the 5th. See, Washington's going to travel on the road to Chicago for 4 games and then go to Milwaukee after this game. David Segui, he's 0 for 1. He grounded out the short back in the second, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Harrison at second. 1, 2, 3 goes the Nats. To the top of the 6th we go. And the big boys coming up, Clemente, Willie, and Ramirez. Clemente's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. You see the team comparisons. Pittsburgh's 1-0, scored 7 runs on 3 homers. And the Nationals 0-1, 4 runs on 3 homers. That's going to be a team. That's going to be a fly ball out the center field. Harper makes the catch for out number 1. Stargell comes up now. 1 out, nobody on. He's a perfect 1 for 1. He's doubled, came around the score, and walked in the 4th. And that's another base on balls. Willie trots on down to first again. Ramirez comes up, 1 out, and Willie down at first. He's grounded out and flown out to the left. And that's going to be 17. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. And they're going to get Willie out at second on the force play. Ramirez beats the throw down to first. No double play. So now there's 2 outs. Pena's up. And Ramirez is down to first. Tony's grounded out twice. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on Tony. Can he deliver here? Here's the 2-0 pitch. And nope. That's going to be popped up behind home plate. Carter takes the mask off, makes the catch. And the Pirates strand 1. We get to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Rogers is due to lead off this inning. We're going to let him stay in the game, folks. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out the short his first time up. He'll be followed by Lou Turner. Here's the pitch to Steve. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. That's Bob's only 2nd strikeout of the game, folks. Lou comes up to the plate now. He's grounded out the short both times up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Clemente. 2 down here in the 6th. Got the Turner to keep the 6th inning alive. Trey's 0 for 2. He's struck out and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Willie. He calls off Bob. And that's the final out of this 6th inning. We go to the 7th. Pirates hanging on to a 2-0 lead. Alley, Friend, then back to Van Slyke. Jeans walked and had a single and came around the score in the 5th. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Soto for out number 1. Bob Friend comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He is struck out and had a sacrifice bunt back in the 5th. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. And that's the 5th strikeout of the game for Rogers. Now there's 2 outs, nobody on for Andy Van Slyke. He singled back in the 1st. He's 1 for 3. And a lazy fly ball out to Lou. The Pirates go down in order. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Got the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up here. Murphy, Harper, and Rendell. With a 2-0 lead. Bob's working on a 2-hit shutout. And the only 2 hits has been by Murphy. He has doubled and singled. And they finally get him out. That's a pop-up. Gets underneath of this one. And Gene Allen makes the catch in the infield for out number 1. And Bryce Harper comes up now with 1 out and nobody on. He's flown out and grounded into a forced play. And that's going to be a base on balls. That brings the tying run to the plate. And Anthony Rando. And Anthony is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to get into that 3-6-3 double play his last time up. Harper down at first, 1 out. And a 2-0 ball game. That's going to be popped up behind home plate. Tony Pena, one of the best in the business, takes the mask off. Now there's 2 down and a runner down at first. And the kid comes up, Gary Carter. He's 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out to third. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Harrison. He goes the short way over to second. Excuse me, and the Nationals strand the runner. We go to the top of the 8th, a 2-0 ball game. We've got Harrison, Parker, and Clemente go up here against Rogers. Harrison has doubled and drove in a run back in the 5th. And he gets a hold of this one. Harrison having a nice start of the year. That ball is driven into the gap out in right field, and that'll get the bullpen up for the Nats. Runner down at second and nobody out. Dave Parker comes to the plate. He has struck out all 3 times. Parker is 0 for 3. Already got the hat trick. Rogers trying for the golden sombrero here, and that's not going to happen. He makes connection with this one. That's hit out in the right field. 53 and a 2 is probably fielding column 3. And it is. And he misplays this one, Soto does. That's an error. And the runner's going to score. And Parker's going to make it down the second on the throw. So we got an E9, a runner scores, and a batter ends up down at second, folks. And still nobody out. Steve Rogers shaking his head now. Down 3-0. Clemente's up. Parker down at first. Who follows him? They're going to pitch to Clemente. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. Here's the pitch to Roberto. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. A big strikeout by Rogers. 1 down here. And they're going to walk Stargell intentionally. That's going to set up the double play ball. So Ramirez comes up now. Runners on first and second and 1 out. He is grounded out twice and flown out the left. Here's the pitch to Ramirez. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Parker's going to stay put. No need to get thrown out trying to advance a single scoring with 2 outs. And Tony Pena comes to the plate now. And Tony's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and popped up to the catcher. And that could do it, folks. This could knock Rogers out of the game. Let's see here. 17 and out. That's going to be a single in the left field. That's going to score Parker easy. Stargell with his speed is going to stop at second. So that's an RBI single by Tony Pena. First and second and 2 outs still as Tony drives in the run. Makes it 4-0. And that's going to be it for Rogers. And are they going to do a double switch here? And I believe they are. Sure. We're going to take Carter out of the game. Let's see here. Are they just going to suck it up? Who's up now? Alley's up. They might just suck it up. Let him pitch to this one batter. Let's see here. Crew's going to come in. He's only going to hopefully pitch to Gene. And then they'll pitch it for him. So Roger comes out of the game after giving up 2 more runs. Drew's going to come in, hopefully get Allen out of this. Then they'll pitch hit for him. So that's it for Steve Rogers. He can't get through this 8th inning. Drew's going to come in. And Drew is no record on the year so far. He's pitched 1 inning, hasn't given up a run yet. Gene's 1 for 2 today. He's walked, singled, and came around to score in the 5th. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Segui. He's going to take it himself, step on the bag, and that'll end the inning. But the Pirates scored 2 big runs. We get to the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-0. You got Soto, Segui, and a pinch hitter for Drew due up here in the bottom of the 8th. Juan is 0 for 1. He did walk back in the 2nd as Philip Reynolds joins us here. Check out his great channel, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Harris. Over to Willie for out number 1. And David Segui comes to the plate now. And David's 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice. That's going to be a base on balls. Don't want to be doing that with a 4-run lead. David walks on down to first, and that'll be it for Drew. So he's going to come out of the dugout here and pitch hit. They're down by 4. Let's see here. Tim Raines is going to come off the bench here. Pitch hit. A little bit of pop. Plus he gives you some speed. Maybe beat out an infield hit. Tim is looking for his first base hit. He's 0 for 3 on the year. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. He falls behind on Tim. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And he gets a hold of this 2-0 pitch, Raines does. And that ball is hit into right field. David Segui will stop at second. Doesn't have a lot of speed there. So it's first and second. And 2 outs, and we go to the top of the inning. Top of the order in the Lou. So the tying run has not yet reached home plate. Oh, you have a good one, Tom. Now Lou is 0 for 3. He's grounded out to short twice and flown out. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on a Lou. And all of a sudden, Bob Friend can't find the strike zone. Here's the 2-0 pitch to a Lou. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Roberto Clemente. He makes the catch. And Bob gets out of the inning with nobody scoring. We go to the top of the 9th. It's still 4-0 Pirates. That was only 2 outs. Sorry. Only 2 outs. So Turner's up now. Messed that up, didn't I? So Turner's up. He's 0 for 3. He's struck out, flown out, and grounded out. And that'll do it, folks, with runners on first and second. That's going to be popped up behind home plate. Pena makes the catch. And that'll do it now. Now we go to the top of the 9th. Let's see who's going to come out. You got Friend due up, followed by Van Slyke and Harris. So let's see. Cordona is going to come out of the bullpen. Try to keep this a 4-run game. – 1 cancel. – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 – 1 See if Chad can keep this a 4-run game. What's going on? Okay. So Chad in 2005 was 2-4 with 47 saves and a 1.82 ERA. Friend, like I say, working on a shutout's going to stay in the game. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out twice and had a sacrifice bunt. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. 31-1. And that's going to be an error on Chad on E1. Let's the Bob Friend get on base here, folks. Now we're back to the top of the order. Andy Van Slyke with a runner on and nobody out. And Andy singled back in the first. He's 1 for 4. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. 35-5. Should be fielding column 1. And it is. And only play for David's going to be down the second as Van Slyke beats the throw to first. That'll be a 3-6 put out. Van Slyke's down at first now, which is probably a good thing for the Pirates. Let Bob get in the dugout and rest. So now you got Harrison. He's having a hell of a game. 2 doubles and an RBI today, folks. 2 for 4 on the game. That's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And Chad's going to spin around, fire down the second. That'll be out number 2. And now it's up to Dave Parker. Parker is 0 for 4. He struck out 3 times, did reach on an error, and came around to score in the 8th, though. And that's going to be a rare play. Catcher, 31-9. That should be fielding column 1. And it is. 61-40. Team, rather. So what's the team? 9, 10, 15, 22, 35, 6, 7. And that'll be fielding column 1. Wild pitch, runner to second. Well, no, so it's not a wild pitch. It will be a rare play. 40 on a 31. 40 on a 31. And that's going to be a 28. 40. 31. That's going to be hit out to center field. Harper's out there. And that's going to be a fly ball to Harper for out number 3. So that'll end the inning. And the Pirates strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's 4-0 Pittsburgh. You've got Murphy, Harper, and Rendon, the heart of the lineup, due up here against Bob Friend. Tentacovi's out in the bullpen getting ready if they need him. If anybody gets in scoring position. Murphy's 2 for 3. He has 2 out of 3 hits. He's got a double and a single. And not this time. That's a fly ball out to Andy for out number 1. And that'll bring up Bryce Harper now. He's 0 for 2. He is walked back in the 7th, though. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is out of here. Bryce Harper breaks up the shutout. And that's going to be it for Bob Friend. And Tentacovi's coming out of the bullpen. Try to close this game out for the Pirates. As Bob goes 8 1/3, 4 hits and 1 run. The Colby's going to come into the game here, trying to nail this down. Colby's got 1 save on the year already. Let's see here. I want to pitch hit for Rendell. Rendell's going to stay in the game. He's 0 for 3. He is grounded out and popped up. Here's the pitch to Anthony. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Harrison for out number 2. And it's up to Gary Carter here. 2 outs and nobody on in a 4-1 ball game to keep this game alive. Carter's 0 for 3. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a rare play, a 12 on a 36. That's going to be ball 1. So DeCalby falls behind on Carter 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And he walks Gary. So Carter trots on down to first. This game's not over yet, folks. Juan Soto comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He did walk back in the second. And he strikes him out. DeCalby gets the strikeout to end the ball game. The Pirates So the Pirates 4 runs on 6 hits and no errors. The Nationals 1 run, 4 hits and 2 errors. Harrison was the only Pirate with 2 hits. They were 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 8 men on base. Murphy was the only bright spot in that lineup for the Nats. He was 2 for 4. They was 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Harper with that solo homer in the 9th to get the Nats on the board. They left 6 men on base. Bob Friend goes 8 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, walked 3, struck out 2, gave up the homer. Colby comes in, pitches 2/3 of an inning, a walk and a strikeout. Rogers goes to 0-1, 7 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them earned. Walked 4 and struck out 6. Drew Storm comes in, pitches a 1/3 of an inning. Cordera comes in 1 inning. And now everybody's played a series, folks. Let's check out the standings and the leaderboard. You got the Mets are 2-0, a game up on the 1-1 Braves. The Marlins 1-2, a half a game back. And the Phillies and Nationals 2 games back, both at 0-2. The Pirates are leading the Central. They're 2-0. They're a half a game up on the Cubs, Reds, and Astros. All 3 are 2-1. The Brewers and Cardinals are 1 game back at 1-1. And out west, you got the Diamondbacks undefeated. They're 3-0, a game and a half up on the 1-1 Dodgers. The Giants and Padres are 2 games back at 1-2. And Colorado is yet to win a game. They're 0-3. Jeff Kent's leading the National League in batting average, homers, and RBIs. Jeff Kent's got a .714 batting average, 3 homers, and 6 RBIs. And, of course, the ERA leaders at 0. 1 win for the win leader. And Smith and Suter both have 2 saves. Jeff Kent with the MVP lead right now, and Randy Jones with the Cy Young. I want to thank Replay Dugout for stopping by. Check out his channel and Philip Reynolds. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. And let's see what the next game will be here in the post-1960 season. And it's going to be the Phillies going up against the Braves. Let's see how many game series that is. 1, 2. It looks like a 3-game series. Yep, a 3-game series for the Braves and Phils. So check that out. And while you're leaving, hit that like button and leave a comment. Until next time, y'all have a great day and take care.